All right, today I want to talk to you a little bit about setting up assignments in your Google Classroom. So if I wanted to create an assignment for my students to be able to complete, I'm going to hit the plus sign and I'm going to create an assignment. And there's a few different ways I can do this. So one possible assignment is if I want students just to turn something in that they already have on their computer. But it's not necessarily something that I have in Google. So maybe students have a movie project that they've made, or maybe they're going to submit a photograph or something that they have already on their computer. So maybe I want students to submit a screenshot. So I'm going to have students go ahead and create an assignment called screenshot completion. And for instructions, I can say, please take a screenshot to show me that you are finished and submit them here. And now I can give that a due date and maybe make this due tomorrow. I don't need to mess with the time unless I want to. And again, if I wanted to create topics to be able to help sort these out, make them easier, I can do that. And I'm going to go ahead and hit assign. Now I'm not attaching any files, nothing from my drive, no links, anything. I'm just creating it, and then I'm hitting assign like so. And here's my assignment. Now it looks like this from the teacher side. I'm going to show you a little bit later what that looks like from the student side. So the next type of assignment that I want to show you is a Google assignment. So let's say I created a file in my drive. So I went into Google Drive and I created an assignment called Chapter 8 Homework Questions. And it's just a document with a bunch of different files or questions for students to answer. So in my Google Classroom, I'm going to go to my plus sign, I'm going to create an assignment, and I'm going to call it Chapter 8 Questions. And for the instructions here, I'm going to say, please answer all the questions in complete sentences and submit when you are finished. And again, let's make this one maybe due on Friday. I'm not going to mess with the time, no topic. But in this case, I'm going to attach a file. I can attach files from my desktop or somewhere on my computer, but since this is already in Drive, I want to use the Drive icon to attach that. So I'm going to click on it. It's going to open up my Drive. It's going to show me everything I have. Now, since it's a recent file that I just created, here it is. I can search for it if I need to. But here's my assignment. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and I'm going to click Add. Now, this is extremely important. So once I've added this file to it, there's a setting right here where I can control what access students have to it. So right now, it's set where students can view this file, which means they can only look at it and they cannot make changes to it. I can also change it where students can edit the file. If I make it editable, what that means is multiple students will be able to edit the same file. So maybe I'm going to have like a sign-up list, and I want students to sign up for different groups or for different times, and everyone's going to use the same document to sign up onto. I would want to set that up for students to be able to edit that file. But if I wanted it where I want each student to have their own copy for them each to be able to work on and not have to mess with that, in the past it was a big pain. Students had to open it up and they had to save a copy onto their drive to be able to do that. Well, Google Classroom makes that a lot easier. All you have to do is set it to make a copy for each student. What this will do is when a student clicks on it, it'll automatically let them open it up, work on it, and then submit it when they're done. Generates their own individual copy for each one of your students separately without anything else having to happen. Very, very slick. So I've created this assignment. I'm going to go ahead and click Assign. Now, a couple of the things I want to show you about assignments. When I create an assignment, I can also choose whether or not this assignment is going to go to multiple classes, just like I could with my content. So if I create an assignment, I want it to show up in multiple classes, I can do that. I can also create an assignment and assign it to specific students. So I could create an assignment and simply check or uncheck the boxes of which student I want that assignment to go to. So I can control exactly where that student's assignment goes. All right, so this is what it looks like from the student side. So this is a student who's logged into this course, and they see the two assignments that I just created. So the first one was a screenshot completion. For this one, I didn't have anything attached. So what this student will do is when they click on this assignment name, they're going to see a button here where they can choose to either add something or create something to submit for this assignment. So if they click add, it'll allow them to either add something from their Google Drive. They can add a link if it's something that they've created that's online, or they can simply choose to add a file, and this will ask them to find something from their computer that they can go ahead and attach. So in this case, if a student took a screenshot, saved that screenshot to his computer, they could go ahead and select that file, find the screenshot from their computer, and attach it, and then submit it, and that would show up. So I choose one here, and I hit upload. All right, so here's the attachment, and then for a student to turn it in, all they would have to do is hit turn in, and then that will submit that assignment to that teacher, letting them know that they've turned it in. All right, I also have the ability to create. So again, since this is still in Google, if I want a student to create a brand new doc, slide, or sheet, in this case even a Google drawing, they can do that just by hitting create doc. It'll create a new blank document for them that again they can fill out, put whatever they need to do, and then hit turn in when they're finished to be able to turn that in. So if I'm happy with my assignment, I can type in a private comment if I needed to that only the teacher would be able to see, no other student would be able to see that. But then I hit turn in. It says, are you sure you want to turn in your work? Yes, I'm sure. I hit turn in, and it shows me that work has been submitted. Now they do have the ability to unsubmit, like maybe they forgot something and didn't need to make a change or do something else to it. They can choose to unsubmit if they want to. And if they unsubmit it, it pulls back down. They could delete it, they could edit it, make changes to it, and then resubmit it, and then turn it back in when they're finished. All right, so this is what the screenshot completion assignment looks like. So again, it's an assignment with nothing attached. Now if I go back to my main page, it also shows me again that this assignment is completed. It says done. They have a little green check mark showing that I have finished this assignment. All right, on this assignment, the one with the chapter questions from a Google Doc attached shows me I've still not done this one. I could go ahead and click open or click on the name of the assignment and it opens up. So this one has its own Google Doc attached. And again, I set it up so that it would create a new copy for each student. So the way this works, they simply click on it. It opens up a blank document or the document that I had set up. The student simply opens it up. They can click, type in their answers. And then once they're finished, there is now a turn in button at the top of that document. All right, it automatically adds their name to the name of the file, so they don't have to worry about renaming it if they don't want to have to mess with that. And then just hit turn in. And when they're finished, it says again, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. I hit turn in. And my assignment has now been submitted. And when I go back, it now shows me that assignment is done. Okay, so now I'm back on the teacher side, and this is what you see after a student has completed their assignments. So here's that first assignment, the screenshot assignment. It shows me now that, hey, the one student in my class has finished this, and so if I click on the assignment, I now see, okay, here's that student, here's the assignment that they've listed. It puts all their work here in one spot, and I can go ahead and click. And by default, it's set to be 100 points. So I could make assignments ungraded if I want to, but I could go ahead and give that person a score to go along with that if I want to. Now, when I'm finished, I'm going through and I've graded all of my students' work. I have the option to email these students. And so if I was to email these students, it automatically creates a message and with the assignment name in there, and I could type in a message telling them, hey, your work is completed, etc., etc. Or if I go in here and I simply hit return, it will send that student a notification letting them know that this assignment has been graded and you have submitted their work to them. So your grade book is kind of like a temporary grade book here. It stores all of your scores that you give them, but the students can't see them until you actually return the assignment to them. If I wanted to, I could go back to the instructions to see the instructions. There are some settings over here that once I've finished returning an assignment, I could download all of these grades as a CSV file. These CSV files are like Excel spreadsheets, and there are ways to actually import that into PowerSchool. We'll do that on a different day once I figure that out. So I'm going to go ahead and hit return to return this graded assignment to them. I could also go in there and give her a private comment if I said I wanted to, and say, awesome job, and hit return. All right, so that assignment has now been returned and even notifies it there. So again, if I go back and I look, it shows me in my Google Classroom that the grades have been returned to that. And in that same grading sheet, I could check individual students' boxes, and I could choose to only return certain students or only grade or return ones that have been graded, and so on. So here's what I get when the student has done the Google Doc. Same deal, I click on it. Now I see all of the students' work will all show up right here. Again, remember it's now all named. And same as before, I can go ahead and give it a grade. And again, return that assignment to them and say, not bad. And that assignment has now been returned and will show that way here on that main page. Now, the really cool thing about anytime students use, or you create an assignment and students turn things in with your assignment, happens in your Google Drive. So if I go back over to my Drive, in my Drive, I now have a folder that was generated automatically called Classroom. And when I open that up, there is now a folder in there for every one of the classes that I've created. So I was dealing in a class called Tech Help. It was just a little test site that I created. And if I open that up, I'll see everything that was submitted. I also have every assignment that was posted all shows up right here. So here's my screenshot completion folder. And if I open it up, it'll show me anything that was submitted will all be right there in that folder automatically. If I go back, here's my Chapter 8 questions. Same deal, I open it up, and here is all of my students' work right there in that folder automatically if I want to. So really nice that it automatically generates those folders, automatically organizes all that stuff for you, and you don't have to mess with setting up hand-in, hand-out folders and all that kind of stuff. It handles all that stuff in the background for you. So that's how you create assignments in Google Classroom.